I'll be honest with you guys, today's not the easiest one, but I think it's definitely a necessary one after just, just seeing kind of how things are going on my end. Today's video is about the 3 biggest things I've learned after being denied Social Security disability benefits twice. So, yeah. Like I said, I'm still in the middle of it, and I am pretty much a year into my journey, but I figured this could help, others if I share my story, even if it's just to give somebody confidence or a little bit of positivity as you go through your journey. So let's get started. First of all, my name is Corey. I've been losing my vision my entire life due to a condition called choroideremia, which means tunneling vision. I cannot see in low light or darkness. My depth perception, like even coming down, stairs, is tough for me. And I have color blindness, and I'm completely blind in one eye. I'm monocular, so that's a little bit about how I see, and that is the reason why I was actually told to apply for Social Security benefits, because it's been I've been having a rough time for a long time, but one of my doctors told me I should definitely apply because of just the condition I'm in. And first of all, I do want to say, if you hear those background noise, I got my kids in the house and everything like that, so sorry if it's not the best audio. But yeah, let's get started, right? So, okay. The first lesson that I've learned is to speak up. What do I mean? Okay, so for a long time, I kind of kept my questions and my concerns to myself, right? Like, I wouldn't tell the doctors everything. I knew there was no cure for my condition, and I knew there was no robot eye for me to use, and I kind of felt defeated for a very long time. So I kind of viewed going to the doctors and spending more time at the doctor's office like a waste of time in a way, because it's like, all right, well, I also was pretty much hiding from myself a lot. So anytime I had to kind of face what reality was, I tried to stay away from it. But that's definitely one of the biggest mistakes I made, I think. And it's honestly, it's something that probably me and my parents did, because if I would have spoken up sooner, or if I would have had things in my records sooner, you have a bigger file, you have a more complete application with your medical records. And because even though the fact that I don't have vision in my left eye, or the fact that I have choroideremia was in my file, like being able to speak to hey, I can't follow a mouse on a computer like I used to, or I'm losing places when I'm reading or typing and stuff like that, all the time. Even walking through doorways, a lot of times now I'm holding on to doorways and a wall just to make sure I'm good, and things like that. Even if we're walking in a supermarket or something like that, it's difficult. I got my 2 kids, and of course my wife, but I have multiple people to hold their hands, and I kind of use them to guide me when we're traveling places or walking around places. But being able to share that with your doctors as soon as you start to have questions or start to have concerns will definitely help your file, and will hopefully help you in the process. So that's definitely lesson number 1. And hopefully, if you're doing something similar, I need you to pause this video and go to your doctor right now. No, man, speak up, and definitely get your voice heard and your records complete. All right, step 2 is to keep it simple. What I mean by that is, The one thing I had in my records that I was very confident in were doctor's letters. So my retina specialist wrote me a letter pretty much explaining my condition and why I would be considered legally blind. And so I had that great letter, which was amazing because even though he was like, your case is pretty much undeniable, but I'm gonna give you a letter anyway just to help. I was grateful. I'm like, okay, cool. I didn't know much about disability benefits in the first place, and just the fact that I had this to go towards my application, I thought it'd be great. I actually even went to an evaluation that the Disability Determination Service sent me to with another doctor who is fantastic. Like literally, I'm thinking about going to see her. She's probably my main doctor moving forward because she's so amazing. But I saw her and she pretty much was agreeing with my retina specialist. Like, yeah, like based on we did a visual field test and stuff like that, and unfortunately, my peripheral vision is pretty much gone nowadays. So, after she saw that and pretty much where I was, she kind of, she agreed with him and even, gave me a letter to go towards, my application and everything like that. Unfortunately, man, I was still denied not once but twice. Stating that the letters pretty much weren't enough. I did end up hiring an attorney who later explained to me that the letters need to be black and white and they need to be straightforward. They need to be just simple. You can see or you can't see in this eye, you can see or you can't in the other eye. These are the reasons. Can you function like a regular person or not in a workplace? Yes or no? And based on that, that's what it's going to be judged and reviewed. So if you get letters from your doctors, and if they agree with you that you should be receiving some sort of benefit, make sure those letters are as clear as possible, because nothing will help you more than a straightforward and clean sentence as you're going through the evaluation process. So definitely something I learned it the hard way, and but hopefully it helps you. And before I get into the third lesson that I learned, I definitely wanted to shout out an organization that has been doing amazing things for people like me and us. And I mentioned earlier that I have choroideremia, and that's a disease that essentially you lose vision over time, and it's tunneling vision until one day you're blind. But the Choroideremia Research Foundation has been doing a lot of great work. There's some great people over there, and I'm not affiliated with them at all. They don't know who I am, but just taking a look at their website, it was a great find for me as I started to look for resources and support for my condition. It's something that runs in my family. Like literally my best friend and cousin has it also, and my grandfather had it, his brothers. It's definitely something that's been in my family. So the fact that there's organizations out here trying to learn and try to figure this thing out for the future, and shoot, maybe it benefits me too. I'm just grateful for that. So I definitely want to give them a shout out. I believe their website is curechm.org. Hopefully that's right. Yeah, I just wanted to give them some love. Now, the third thing I learned, and I feel like this was the biggest blessing and the biggest shock. It was that you gotta stay positive and you have to stay persistent. What I mean by that is, after I got denied the second time, well, the reason how I found out I was denied was because, it was about that time on the Social Security website, for a decision to be made on my second application. And I was already like, okay, I have 2 letters from doctors, my records are clear that, what my issues were. So I called, I was ready to, I was ready to speak to somebody about, kind of what the next steps were. And when I called, man, I was shocked. you know, when the representative told me that I was denied, and you know, at first I couldn't say anything just because I couldn't believe it. And you know, she looked at my file, and what was crazy is she admitted that she was shocked because she saw the letter, she saw my records, and you know, everything that it was saying. And you know, the beautiful thing about it, even though it was tough, you know, having that conversation, was she gave me a plan, and her plan was super major gems, and that's really why I wanted to, you know, share with you. The first thing she told me was to get more medical, like letters, opinion letters from more, you know, more of my doctors, more people who know me, more people who see, or professionals who have seen me and evaluated me, which you know, I thought was possible. There was definitely more doctors that I could reach out to get letters. And you know, now that I knew, well, I later found out that, you know, I needed clearer letters, but I was able to at least approach, you know, the doctors who wrote me letters previously, and the new doctors was like, you know, hey, I just need a letter that's simple. If you agree with, you know, my diagnosis and things like that, if you believe I should qualify, you know, just please, black and white, simple letters. So I was able to do that. Additionally, the biggest piece of advice that she gave me was, if I got a letter or you know, just something from my local commission for the blind, that would be a major addition to my application, because that's, you know, ran by the state. So if the state is telling you, hey, we evaluated you and we approved you to be a part of our commission for the blind and visually impaired, you know, it's just definitely a big addition as the state tries to, you know, evaluate you again for if you you know, qualify for benefits or not. So I think having these things in your pocket is definitely like having a LeBron James on your team, or a legendary Pokemon for you to throw out in battle. But man, you know, learning these things and these tips, you know, were definitely major for me. And while I'm still on my journey, you know, I don't get benefits, you know, just to be honest with you guys. But I'm hoping that maybe one of these things helps, you know, you, if you're just getting started with your application or waiting on a decision, or, you know, you haven't applied yet. So if you want some more tips on how I've been able to improve my life and the things I'm doing to love life more, please check out some more of these videos. And, you know, I would love to talk to you guys, and thank you guys for tuning in. Hey, but how's the little studio going? How's the studio looking? Hey, yo.